Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie Holder, and this is the Weather and Lifestyle News Show. Arsenic, really? I seen that, Karen, and I went, oh, wait a minute. What's going on in Maui? Now, I should be on the news, but it came across on my Weather Channel this morning. Not only that, but they found cobalt and high levels of cobalt and lead. Also a 4.2 earthquake in the middle of California. Wow. As they go up to a 5 or 6, is California fixing to be hit with a bigger earthquake, like a 6 or a 7? You know, that's what Dutch Sense has been saying. What do you think, Karen, of arsenic found in the ash on Maui all over? I think it's serious. And why is the news talking about it? Why is it always me that brings this stuff out and then a couple days later everybody does it? Yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't be Ellie that puts it out. It should be the news and me getting it from the news and putting it on my show, not me picking it up, being buried, and putting it on my show. Is everybody ready for the heat to come back? You know, everybody says, oh, this is weird. No, because we've been in the 80s for Halloween here. I mean, to the point where the kids didn't even want to put their costumes on. It was too hot. So no, let's just go with cow farts, cow burps. Yeah. Looks like Susan's just getting here. Boy, you guys are in for one heck of a show. And not killer, but Attack of the Tumbleweeds. I seen that and I went, I got to put this on the show. I just got to put the tumbleweeds. I've never seen tumbleweeds that bad. Maybe I have, but I was mesmerized with the tumbleweeds covering houses. So great show today. And me and William, he's got so much. I think I just let him talk. He just kept going and going and going and going. And I was like, William, wow, I think we got enough. So great show, 2 great shows. The lifestyle news, and I want to welcome Hellions, Holes, and Poles. I've added them onto the lifestyle news. I want to start adding Hellions, Holes, and Poles because we are very easy news, and it is not really political, and I think they might enjoy hearing things that aren't being put out by our news media and stuff to warm your heart and make you laugh. First off, we want to get to, of course, the weather. It's going to warm back up. We had snow. We had Florida had tornadoes. We have another system coming up, another hurricane. A little bit of everything. Snow and heat, rain, tornadoes, hurricanes, all the above for the fall weather. Is it unusual? Nah, it usually happens this time. All right, so here we go.
Well, we have a cross-country system that right now is moisture-starved, but by the time it makes its way into the Great Lakes, it will pick up some moisture, and not just that, but wind. And this is going to be the weather focus for the Northeast late week and into the weekend. So here we go, the system coming in from the west, and notice that low that is moving up the southeast coast. Now, this system combines and deepens on Saturday, and it's not just the rain that you're going to have to deal with Friday, Saturday, and even into Sunday, the wind. And take a look at the wind gusts that we could see from the mid-Atlantic up through the Northeast as well. So we're talking gusts 25, 30, even 35 miles per hour. So yes, some damaging winds. Certainly, if you have those outdoor decorations, take them in because it is going to be quite a windy weekend. That low pushes away on Sunday. It will take the rain with it. There's a look at the rainfall that is expected this weekend from DC, New York, up through Boston. We could see a 1/4 inch to an inch.
Well, more rain is what Karen said. Yes, you got look at that. It's just all saturated right there, right where you guys are at, and New York that don't need the rain. I think Noah's there building a boat. That's what I think. He's seeing how horrible New York is, and he's building a boat. He's building an ark. What do you think? I don't know. But they're sure getting all the rain, and I want the rain here. I want green. I want a green winter with snow. I'll take your snow, William. Send it this way. So, all right. So, let's get rid of that and let's move on with the news because we have a new Atlantic disturbance will likely become a tropical depression or a storm this week. Yeah, of
Well,
course.
chances are good that
And of course, we have Miss Davis again. William, don't get too excited. We got Miss Davis again. And here we go.
Well, chances are good that Invest 94L will likely become a tropical depression within the next day or so. So there it is in the central Atlantic. Now, the Lesser Antilles could see some impacts with this in terms of rain and wind by late this week and this weekend. There's the models pretty much in good agreement that this system moves off to the west and then turns to the northeast, staying well east of Bermuda. So here's what we can expect with this system as it moves to the west. There's the rain over Barbados up through Puerto Rico into this weekend. And then as it turns to the northeast, well, a front coming off the United States coast, that will push it to the east. So that is why we are confident it will stay away from mainland US. There's a look at the names. The next one on the list is Tammy.
Well, see, it was Sean. I called it Steve last week. No, it's Sean. Now Tammy. Really. The 2020. So, wow. Time to name them regular names. Why not Teresa or how about just name it thermometer? All right, the latest earthquakes, folks. I know there's a lot of people in here for this, um, and so I'm gonna. I mean, they're all equally spaced. There's 38 of them, but what we're looking at is the one in California, and it was a 4.2 in Iselton, California. It was only about 6 miles deep. And then right next to it, we have Spanish Springs, Nevada, 3.6. Above it, Ferndale, California. And below it, we had Mexico, very small. But then we go across White City, New Mexico, got a 3.0. And then oddly, southeastern Missouri. Is it going to move east towards Karen and Susan? Into the Carolinas, Pennsylvania, maybe even up into New York or Maine. So we go down to the next biggest, Kermadec Islands, a 5.2. We had one down 5.5 on the Pacific Antarctic Ridge, which was odd. And we had another one in the Pacific Rise, 4.7. Uh, And as we go on the Ring of Fire, Tonga region 4.9. This wasn't very deep either. Up to Yigo Village, Guam. Karen, when have we ever got that one? That was a 5.2, and it was about 8 miles deep. That's weird. And then we go up to Shikotan, Russia, 4.5. Then on the Aleutian Islands, Fox Islands, 3.3. Then there's a string of them um, in Alaska, a 2.9, and then we go up another 2.9 and Sistina. That was 53 miles deep. And then we go up and it got bigger, 3.0 in Petersville. And that was 120 miles deep. And then we go to Stevens Village, Alaska, a 3.2. So these are ones that are very odd, where we haven't seen earthquakes before. And then, of course, it went down into the United States, and I did that. And then we go to El Salvador with a 4.4. So between El Salvador and Iselton, California, we seen that one in Mexico. So if we get one in between there, it would be a bigger one in Mexico. And if we see one in between Mexico and Iselton, um, it could mean we see a 5 to a 6. We never know. All right. And on the islands, in Puerto Rico, we seen a 4.2 and one lone one down in Argentina. We did see one over in Turkey. That was a 4.2 also. And then we also seen one in Tajikistan, uh, Jilakul, 4.4. So, and then we have this lone one off here in Indonesia, 4.4. So, what are we seeing? A lot of 4s moving into 5s. Or will we see a 5 in California? Very shallow. Good possibility, and you will feel it. Right around Iselton, I'm going to say in between Iselton and the border on the San Andreas fault line. So, all right, it might get interesting in California, or it might get interesting on the East Coast. We'll see. Everything moving 4s to 5. Um, Now, this one here, I know everybody is very interested in this, and this is the arsenic that was found in Maui. So I'm gonna let you listen to it and see what you think.
High levels of arsenic have been found in wildfire ash on Maui, the Hawaiian island where devastating fires burned in August. The health department there says a preliminary analysis also found cobalt and lead. Wildfire ash, just like wildfire smoke, can be extremely toxic. So this wasn't unexpected, but what was surprising was just how high the concentration of arsenic is. Arsenic is present in building materials made from sugarcane, commonly used in some older buildings in Hawaii. It's also found in Hawaii's volcanic soils. Long-term exposure to arsenic can cause skin problems, heart problems, and certain types of cancer. The initial analysis was from the ashes of 8 homes in the community of Kula. They were burned by one of several fires that swept through West Maui in early August amid high winds and dry conditions. Health officials expect similar toxins will be found in the ashes of Lahaina town. That's one reason why access to Lahaina is still highly restricted, even for residents, even though it's been more than 2 months since the fires.
Should the arsenic be there? I mean, they said sugar. They made up all kinds of reasonings for it. Should high levels of arsenic be in Maui? Now, is this something we should look into? They said a lot of chemicals in fires, yes, but high levels of arsenic, cobalt, and iron, or no, was it? Yeah, it was iron. Uh, is this due to um, the sugar cane? Why didn't they see it when we have had fires there before? So to me, I'm suspicious. So with that, folks, we're going to have to wait and see. But so far, no one has really reported on this except for the Weather Channel and myself. We need to start looking at what was in the fire. Now, how about we take a look at beyond the fire? Is there arsenic in the soil or around the areas that weren't burnt, or cobalt or iron? That's the question. If it's just in the fire, that's one thing. But should there be high levels of arsenic beyond the fire? Huh. Boy, isn't that interesting? All right, so the tumbleweeds. Oh boy, folks, I just love this. I seen this morning, and let's see if I can put it back. Um, Now they have this every year. They really do. They have the tumbleweeds to where now this last year it's been so dry. They said there's been more tumbleweed bushes that dried out, lots, way more than usual. And so the tumbling of the tumbleweed, you guys know the song. Yeah, and you got to wonder because of what we've seen in, I think it's Montana, the tumbling of the tumbleweeds. Maybe this is why the song was made. Now, I got to show you this because, like I said, when I seen this, that's a house. Can you imagine opening your front door in the morning and seeing nothing but tumbleweeds as high as your house, 10, 15 feet tall, of the tumbling of the tumbleweeds?
If anyone ever asks how windy it can get in central Montana, just show them this video. This is what it looks like at Eagles Crossing subdivision, just north of Great Falls off of Bootlegger Trail. Thousands of tumbleweed piled up in front of homes, blocking sidewalks, and reaching all the way to the roof. It's not an uncommon sight to see tumbleweeds build up in this area, but neighbors tell us they've never seen it this bad.
I heard it was bad because my husband had been out earlier, but I didn't think it was that bad. I was pretty shocked. Um, I feel bad for these people. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, last summer it kind of built up a little bit, but nothing like this.
The fire marshal arrived on scene while our cameras were filming and told us they're still discussing options on how to clear the area, but are not sure where to begin.
They're not even sure how to get rid of it yet. The tumbling of the tumbleweeds. What do you do? I mean, it's so light, but where do you put them all? Do you burn it? Do you? Did you see the one backyard? It was at least 8 feet in the backyard of this person's house. So the tumbling of the tumbleweeds. Ain't oh boy. I was really mesmerized. I'm sorry, folks. But um, now 21 species removed from endangered list found extinct, and a lot of them are bats. Why are bats dying? They fly at night, and they hang out in the caves and they eat bugs for the most part. What is wrong with, why are we seeing less and less? It can't be, they say it can't really be the heat. They think there's something wrong with our atmosphere. That's what when I looked into it. So we're going to put up the list of the 21 animals that are extinct or gone.
After determining those species are extinct, the agency says that most of these species were listed as endangered in the 1970s or 80s, and some were likely extinct already. Of the 21 species determined to be extinct, only one has even been spotted any time in this millennia: the Hawaiian black-faced honey creeper, a bird last seen in 2004. For 5 of the species on the list, there hasn't been a confirmed sighting since the 1960s. Fish and wildlife officials say the agency simply got to these species too late, and that this action should be a wake up call. A reminder of the importance of conserving at risk species before it's too late.
70s. And that's when ecology was out there wanting to save these spotted owls up in northern California up into Oregon and Washington. And now we're finding out bats, fish, birds, everything that is in the water and the air. We got to start looking. And it's not what they're finding, they're not being extinct due to fossil fuels or pollution. It's more of their diets. Is there not enough to eat, or are we seeing something toxic? Um, and they're going to keep looking into it, they say, and hopefully have a decision in the next, they said 3 to 5 years. You watch, they're going to blame it on the oil industry. On this day in history, in October, United States purchased Alaska from Russia for a cool $7.2 million. The Alaska Treaty, first widely criticized in the U.S., but Russia nationalists said to regret the massive American land grab today. As we are looking at 7.2 in 1867, set over 7 million for Alaska. That it would be like 14 to 20 million today for Alaska. Huh. How interesting. Is it this the week of the vampires? We have a vampire wasp. Really? Well, it's not really here. It was discovered down south. Um, and the vampire wasp, um, it you have to wonder all this stuff coming out, the vampires, lots of things scare us. Spooky season, especially this vampire wasp. All right, enjoy. Look at that face. And there's the tumbleweeds again. Uh, wasn't that a scary face? Oh, I wanted to see some fangs though. It sucks the blood of caterpillars. The caterpillars. Oh boy, the caterpillars that are turning into butterflies in the Amazon. So this is, and they're getting stronger, and there's more of them. Um, wow, it's the week of the vampires. Um, who did? Everybody just cover their eyes and plug their noses. Who did? Who would do this on an airplane? We got some sick people getting on airplanes these days and causing problems, being kicked off, doing the stupidest things. But I mean, we've heard of animals, alligators, snakes, rats, all kinds of things on the planes that shouldn't have been there. But EasyJet flight is canceled after someone fouls up the place um, um, by pooping on the plane. They didn't even poop in the bathroom. Who does this? Somebody call their mom on them. Who? I can't even fathom being on a plane where someone. I mean, having to go to the bathroom, but there's usually two bathrooms, and I'm pretty sure if you have to go really, really, really bad, um, you can get somebody out of these bathrooms. This passenger of London, and two passengers to London. Things went bad to worse after somebody defecated on the This was on the bathroom floor, and what I heard, it strung out to the hallway, which resulted in the cancellation of the entire flight. Um, they found themselves stuck on the island of Tenerife, after hours of delays. Um, okay, an accident's an accident, but I don't think they would have put this out if it wasn't something intentional. From the bathroom to outside the bathroom. Now, either they didn't make it, and it started in the hall and then went. I don't even want to justify this. I don't even want to justify this one. You know, man. All right, I'm just going to move on. So, stratosphere littered with leftovers of space junk. We hear about space junk all the time, but they're starting to find um, weird pieces of metal that are floating. Well, I'm just going to let this explain it to you.
Is littered with tiny pieces of metal and other elements from vaporized satellites and rocket boosters. That's according to NOAA scientists analyzing data from a high altitude research plane above the Arctic. And here's what they say is happening. A large majority of particles in the stratosphere are made up of sulfuric acid. The scientists found aluminum and exotic metals embedded in about 10% of them. They also found rare elements that matched up with special alloys used in satellites and rockets. That indicates they came from spacecraft purposely directed into the atmosphere to burn up on re-entry. Basically, space trash disposal. Scientists say this type of pollution in the stratosphere could grow significantly. About 8,000 satellites currently in low Earth orbit will eventually be disposed of, and more are being launched on a regular basis.
Space junk. Shouldn't they be cleaning that? I mean, the stuff that's still up there, shouldn't there be a way to clean up space? It's getting pretty bad. And with them concerning about the air we breathe, what about their junk in space? Junk in space. Mom living in a haunted house reaches out to previous owner and gets an eerie response. This was out of Mexico. 1920s New Mexico home says her cat and son see a haunted presence. This isn't like Bigfoot. Renee Valdez and her son told about a man that one a man that they see in their rooms with an old hat that peeks in from the bathroom. They spoke to the previous owner and said, "Oh, I've been expecting you." She's like, "My son sees a man with a hat," and her son described what the son sees. So that's weird, and it scared the out of her, crap out of her. Valdez described a list of unusual voices, unexpected stuff, and that her girlfriend hear daily. There's an unconnected doorbell that violently dings at night, and so they got a hold of the previous owners, and the previous owner said they saw the same things. They were expecting their phone calls, and said it only gets worse and you see more. Wow. Well, she said they're not bothering her, so she's not going to let it go. She says she kind of likes them. It kind of keeps her company. Really? No, no, you need to get the spooks out of your house. It only gets worse. And that isn't that what the lady before her said that lived there before? It only gets worse. How worse? All right. So how do you keep your furnace? Um, how do you keep your furnace from killing you this winter? I know we're all flipping them on, and sometimes it don't quite come on, and it'll leak gas. And as you wait and wait and wait, you think, oh, it'll come on later. You're filling your house full of gas. Well, that's only one problem, but I think we really do need to pay some mind to uh, what to expect this winter. And maybe you'll learn something, maybe something you didn't know that you could do. All right, here we go. Okay, be safe, folks. And you know, it may be best if you got little ones or babies, get a carbon monoxide detector. They're not that expensive, and it's worth it. And get it plugged in, and it'll go off, and at least you know. At least you know if the baby's sleeping a little bit more than it should be, or upset, crying, you could have a carbon monoxide leak. Um, Meteor shower peaks this week with shooting stars right after we just got through having um, a partial eclipse. Now we got still have the meteor showers and it peaks this week. How wonderful is that? Um, so get out before it gets too cold and enjoy the meteor showers. Haley's Comet. And like it says, this is coming from Haley's Comet. We haven't heard about that since it went by quite a few years ago. All right, so on the funny post, we're down to the funny post for the end of the night. All right, smart sayings. I thought I saw an eye doctor on the Aleutian Island, but it turned out to be an optical illusion. Yep. Mm-hmm. She was only a whiskey maker, but he loved her still. A rubber band pistol was confiscated from algebra class because it was a weapon of math destruction. Must have been some hard algebra that day. The butcher backed into the meat grinder and got a little behind in his work. A dog gave birth to puppies near the road and cried out, was cited for littering. Two silkworms had a race. They ended up in a tie. A hole has been found at the nudist camp wall. The police are looking into it. Yeah, I bet they are. Uh, Two hats were hanging on a hat rack in the hallway. One hat said to the other, "You stay here, I'll go on ahead." I wondered why the baseball kept getting bigger. Then it hit me. A sign on the lawn at a drug rehab center said, "Keep off the grass." Yeah, stay off the grass. Don't even go in the store. A short fortune teller who escaped from prison was a small medium at large. A backward poet writes in verse. Don't join a dangerous cults. Practice safe sex. I don't know about that. When cannibals ate a missionary, they got a taste of religion. And that's it for today. Join me and William about 30 minutes for the World War III report. And if not, come on back. And if it's your first time watching us on Hellions, Holes, and Poles, come on back tomorrow. We have news of lifestyle news and weather. So come on back, Hellions, Holes, and Poles. Karen, I'm trying to add more. We need more in here. We need fresh meat. Like the butcher that backed into yeah, a little behind in his work. All right, folks. We thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit the like button. Thumbs up. And subscribe, and share, share, share. And if you're not getting notified that the shows are on, then you ring my bell. Yeah. Sing it. Ring my bell. Yeah. So we will see you all tomorrow. And if not, then come on back for the World War III report if you're interested. And if not, boy, come on back for Friday. If you didn't know, we have trivia on Fridays. So with that, folks, have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you in a few minutes.